Alright guys, we are back on the road, what we've been calling the Great Canadian Overland Adventure. And we started way up here on the Pacific Ocean on the far northwest of Vancouver Island. And we've been working our way all the way across Canada. British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario. And then we took a pause for the wedding and a few other things. And we're now carrying on this half of the country. In this week's video, we're going through the rest of Ontario and just into Quebec. And then we'll go from Quebec into New Brunswick, probably across to PEI, back to Nova Scotia, up to Cape Breton Island, and across to Newfoundland. And we'll dip our toes in the Atlantic Ocean. Probably not going to be swimming. We swam on the west coast in the spring, and who knows, we'll see if the weather permits or if it's frozen. We're getting late in the year. We're a lot later than we expected to be, so we're going to have to kind of make decisions, because we do have to be back at the island before it freezes up, or we'll be iced out, and that's usually the third week of November. So we have a couple of weeks to finish the Great Canadian Overland Adventure, and we can't wait to take you with us. Good morning, guys. We are seeing the first snow of the season so far. It's not sticking on the ground or anything like that, but it's always a bit of a momentous occasion, I guess, when the first snow starts falling, and it's a good reminder that winter's coming soon. Lando, you see snow, buddy? Look. No, over here, bud.
Good morning. So, the last 2 days I have been trying to find our flotation jackets. I found the pants were in the tote that had the striker tag on it, and then for the life of me I was just looking, literally going mental for 2 days trying to find where we would have put our jackets, and I found them finally. They were in that tote that says hats and gloves, and the pants were obviously in this one here, but I took these down, all of them, probably 4 different times, and then I finally realized to just take the time and really dig around, like look through everything, and there they were sitting at the bottom. So now I can finally sleep. I did not want to leave Daniel with the water getting so cold, the temperature of the water dropping. I did not want to leave Daniel here on the island by himself without his flotation gear. So that was a big check mark off, and I thought, like, man, did we lose him somewhere, leave him somewhere? Because I went up in the attic and I looked all in those totes, and like I said, 3 or 4 times through all of these totes, and I just, for the life of me, couldn't find them until, yes, I actually took the time to dig around. But so that's a big relief. Pete and Dan went to go and drop off the trailer for Pete's sailboat up in the town up there, and just move the motorcycles and stuff like that. I think Pete Jr. is wanting to get studded tires for at least his bike, so he can go on the ice with it. So who knows what adventures he's thinking of. Let me think. Yeah, we're just about all packed. Pete was making sure the truck was all good. We were filling up all the jerry cans, and yeah, just trying to think of everything what Dan would need while we are away. And Pete Jr. will be back in about a week, so that'll be nice for Dan, because they have a lot of splitting and kindling to do in the meantime while we're away. But yeah, so tomorrow morning we're out of here. I'm actually really excited to hit the road. and go exploring the east of Canada. So it'll be really nice. Yeah, that's what I've been doing all day today and yesterday and the day before. So looking for jackets. But it all ended out good.
So we're almost there to be taken off. We're a few days delayed just because of things we needed to prepare before we go, and we've been working really hard to get everything put away and bring out things like our flotation suits for the winter, and we're going to pick up some propane. Stan just brought in about 5-6 jugs of gas for the generator. So we're getting close, and the rest I think Dan can take care of, and me and Carol are gonna start heading eastward tomorrow if it all works out. So can't wait to take you with us.
Let me just get my gloves on. Oh, I thought you were carrying it. What you got? Being silly.
What do you got, Lando?
Keep whacking my knees.
5 to go. We'll have enough for all winter. I think last year we used about 6. What do you got, Lando? Alright, we're finally packed up, and Carol and I are gonna head out on our journey. We're not taking Lando. I know that'll disappoint some of you, but the island is his happy place right now, and if we were going on just backcountry trails, for instance, where he could do a lot of running, he would love it, and we'd definitely take him for that. But this is a cross country, you know, we're crossing half the country, so there's gonna be a lot of driving, and that's not his favorite thing to do. In fact, he doesn't like it much at all. So for his sake, we're leaving him here, and he's going to be also a support dog with Dan, sniffing out wildlife and bears and all kinds of dangers, right, Lando? Keeping Dan safe and keeping him company. Dan will be here alone for this week, and then Pete Jr. gets back from his trip, I think this weekend, and then the boys will be up here holding down the fort. So yeah, let's go.
Love you.
Love you.
Be careful.
Be safe. Let it go.
Just love it.
I know, Lando. I know, you're a good boy. Want a big hug too? Come here. Whoa, there he is. There he is.
Bye. Bring me back something French.
You know what movie that?
What?
Home Alone.
So we are saying goodbye to Dan and Lando and hitting the road again. I don't know why it's a little emotional. I think just from everything going on. And you know, losing a cousin their age, it just makes you hug them and love them every opportunity you can. We won't get to see Pete returning, but Dan will be here, which is nice. And then who knows if Matt and Caroline can come up in the meantime. But yeah, there's a lot of dangers with working chainsaws and just, you know, living off the grid and remote. But I know Dan has the Zolio, and he's connected with our friends like Brad on the lake and with the marina, Chris and Kendra. So that kind of gives me peace of mind. And the global rescue. Yeah, just a lot kind of going through my head and just trying to keep at peace with it and at rest. I have all the confidence in the world that everything will go fine. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't sleep last night just thinking, I guess. But yeah, I'll get over that, and once we hit the road and get those tires moving. But yeah, Lando knows something's up. He's been following me around like everywhere I go today, and or this morning. We got off to a late start. We were supposed to leave at 11, and it's now 12. But the weather looks like it's kind of warming up, which is nice. And yeah, so we'll see you on the road. Bye, Lando. You have to stay, Lando.
See you then.
Daniel with his sweatpants on. Oh no, Lando! You can't come, honey.
Lando, come
Bye,
back.
buddy.
Dan, over here, look.
Go to Dan.
Go to Dan.
Good boy.
Good boy.
Good boy.
Poor little.
Bye.
Yeah, good boy. Have fun.
Bye.
Be safe.
We got the keys, wallet.
Keys. Wallet. Oh, I think we have everything we need.
Bye. Love you. No, I'll walk up there.
Currently going eastward, and we're staying off the main highways and doing some paved roads. We're currently in the Muskoka Lakes area. Just went through the little town of Rousseau, I think it's called. It's beautiful, quaint little villages. The leaves are all down now, so we missed them by about a week, at least in this area. We'll see as we go if there's still leaves on the trees, but it's still extremely beautiful and wild country. Alright, so we're just west of Algonquin Park, and we're going to look for a camp spot out here on these logging roads and spend the night, get all set up. Being our first night on the road, it usually takes us a while to get set up, and it gets dark so early this time of year, it's unbelievable, but especially on a gray day like today. So it's only coming up on 4:30, and so that's a bit early for us, but I think we'll find a good camp spot back in here. It's beautiful, really neat spot. And then tomorrow, if we get up fairly decent time, we'll drive through Algonquin Park and have a good chance of seeing a moose or something. So let's find us a camp spot. There's all kinds of spots like this.
That one's okay. I'm just gonna walk down here and check it out. It's kind of tight. It's doable. The other driveway down to another spot, it's just crazy mud. So I just don't want to have to like back out all the way. But it looks good so far. I'm just gonna tell him to come. Oh, I didn't bring my radio. This is why having two-way radios is so nice. Hey, Dad, do you want to back in all the way? Back in? Yeah. I can help you. Just give me 1 second. Although, he could probably turn around. Yeah. Dad! Oh, man. Not having the radios is just crazy. Because I don't think he needs to back in all the way. I have to walk all the way back up there. I'll try and get his attention. No. Now that he's done all that effort of like getting turned around, might as well just help him. But man, it was a lot cooler on the lake. Here it's like I don't even think I need this jacket. I was just gonna say to you, I was like, we need our two-way radios. I know, they're in the back. But all I was gonna say is it was a big enough spot that you could have turned around.
Really?
Yeah, so it's up to you, but it's pretty straightforward.
If you
A little rocky.
guide me on this side, you just stay in my view and tell me to go right or left.
Okay. All right. Why don't you stop there and then we can see where we can level off and just jump out really fast.
How far back? Oh,
Yeah.
that looks pretty level.
Yeah, I just didn't know where you wanted to go.
Okay. We should put the door towards the lake. Might as well.
Yeah,
So I think it's on passenger side, so I'm just going to back in here and kind of get straight.
yeah, that's why I said it. You could have pulled in. Oh well.
Oh well, next time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good practice. Yeah.
Isn't that
That's a
beautiful?
gorgeous spot. Wow.
It's called the Giant Fire Pit camp spot. They weren't joking.
Did we bring a fishing rod?
I always do. Did I? It must be under the seat. Yes, because there's a reel in my door.
Okay. Yeah, this would probably be a good fishing area. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna back in here and get set up. And we have lots of rocks in case we have to level up. So it's a bit up on that side.
Good.
It's good. Just level all the way around, front to back, side to side. That is a pretty lake.
So we just arrived in camp. We took a little walk around to look at the lake and our surroundings. It is gorgeous here, and I'm just trying to clean up a bit because we had the wedding and then we had the funeral. And so everything was kind of just thrown back when we got back to the lake. But yeah, so just getting everything unpacked. I got our coffee. I always fill up the water the night before, or like when we go to bed, and just kind of set everything out. I do use the jet boil for the coffee because sometimes you run out of power, and at least you can have coffee while you wait the 10 minutes while the truck is running to get the power back up. But yeah, so I just got to get our clothes put away, and then we can just sit, relax, and look at some maps. I have not made our bed, and that's one of my pet peeves, is when I don't make the bed. I think I just washed the sheets and I threw them back on, and then all the bedding. I'll get that all sorted while Pete is looking around with the drone. Before I forget, I'm going to get the Midland radios out for the rest of the trip. Make sure they are all charged up. Channel 7 and 7. Good. Testing. All right, we're good to go. So I love this little Milwaukee handheld vacuum, and because I have all Milwaukee at home anyways, and then I can just use the same batteries, swap them out. And yeah, it's just really simple, super powerful, does the job. I have different heads for this, and also like here. And then I also have a one that bends and stuff. It must be under this front seat, but yeah, so it works great. Gets all the sand, Lando hair, just keeps your home all cozy and clean.
Everything's soaked. Must have rained earlier today. There we go. Try to get some dry wood on there.
Something about when your bed is made and there's clean sheets. After driving, heaven. I've had these same slippers for about, I don't know, 5 years now. They're by Sierra Design, and I love them because it's like sleeping bag, but then yet you can walk outside if you have to, and it's just perfect. We got these when we had the rooftop tents with the Jeeps, and yeah, these have gone everywhere. Anyways, I stick them here, so when I get out of bed, I can just come down the stairs with them on and sit, relax with warm feet.
Really long enough to drive. It looks like almost like a river going there. Good morning. This place was pretty epic. Absolutely gorgeous view and completely silent. Really nice place to spend the night. In fact, it would be nice to spend a little more time here, but as you know, we're on the Great Canadian Overland Adventure and we've got a long ways to go to get to the Atlantic Ocean. So we're all packed up and we've had a coffee by the lake. We're going to get back on the road. So come with us, we're heading east.
What a beautiful morning. But I was kind of busy, like just cleaning and stuff, so I didn't get to have my coffee yet. I mean, just a little bit, a few sips while we were down by the lake. Some mornings you just feel like you need it more than others.
Hey guys, we get a lot of questions about how we navigate when we're doing a cross-country trip like we're doing now. And the answer is we use a bunch of different tools. Everything from just paper maps that we like to pore over at night and draw out trails, to different apps that we use. You know, everything from finding camp spots, finding backcountry trails, and just navigating down the freeway. So one of our main tools is onX Off-Road, and that's an app that you get on your phone. And it's wonderful, and I'll show you a couple of things that we use that for. It also is available on a laptop like I have in front of me, so you can view the whole country or you can zoom right into where you are. So one of the things we love about onX is sharing of GPX files, which is, you know, your locations or your tracks. You can track and leave like a breadcrumb of where you've been, so that's always handy for referring to later. You can also track waypoints, so every camp spot that you stay at, you can mark that down and refer to it later. But one of our favorite things about that is also sharing it with first of all our Patreon family and friends and family. So Pete was recently in the Arctic shooting a series, and he texted at one point and said, hey, we're going to be north of Eagle Plains, do you have any places that you've been up there north of the Arctic Circle? And we could just quickly go onto onX and grab a couple of locations, send them to him, and he would get them as a text and just double click on them and they open up in the app, and there you go, he's got the perfect location to navigate towards. What about the times where you're not in the backcountry and you're crossing, you know, a big section of the continent and you're going to be on highways a lot, how do you find camp spots then? Well, for that scenario, we look on onX first to see if there's anything nearby, but when it's more built up areas, we refer to an app called iOverlander. Those spots on that app are all populated by folks that use the app. And so the nice thing is, you'll have a pull off beside a highway or just down a little road in a village. You would never find it otherwise, but they would have it marked and someone would have stayed there before. Sometimes many people would be there and they leave comments and they leave photos. So you can actually swipe through the photos and get an idea of what you're getting into before you get there. I hope you find that helpful, and let us know if you have any other questions. Leave them in the comments section below. We just pulled into Algonquin Park. I used to come here as a kid with my dad and my brothers and sisters sometimes, and we'd canoe way back into the interior of the park. We're just stopping at the info center here for a minute just to get a bit of information about the park. Today, of course, we're just driving through it, but it is a huge, beautiful piece of wilderness, so we'll get all the details for you on it.
Please remember that you are in Blackberry country. Be sure you keep a clean campsite.
We camped on this lake last night, and now we're up here, and we're going to be driving through the park this way, at the east gate, along the Madawaska River. But you can see the size of the park, it's absolutely huge, and that's really the only road through it. And for instance, Opeongo Lake we used to put in there, or Canoe Lake, and all these are canoe routes and portage between the lakes, and you can actually go for weeks back in here. It's an incredible, beautiful park, lots of wildlife, so hopefully we'll see some moose. And these are, if you
The
do
trail
the
ones.
you get the badge.
Yeah, so it's about 35. What to get snacks?
Okay.
Yeah. Got a new patch.
Today we are driving along the scenic 56-kilometer stretch of Highway 60 that cuts through the southern end of Algonquin Park. While there are convenient drive-in campgrounds along this route, the best way to truly experience Algonquin's vast 7,635 square kilometer interior, with its expansive forests, bogs, winding rivers, and thousands of lakes, is by canoe or on foot. The park offers hiking and biking trails, world-class trout fishing, incredible wildlife viewing and photography opportunities, winter activities like cross-country skiing, and breathtaking fall colors throughout October. So on our way east, the route takes us through the city of Ottawa, which is the capital of Canada. So we're only about 12 minutes drive from the Parliament buildings, or Parliament Hill. So we thought, since we're doing a cross Canada tour, it makes sense to stop in at the capital and show you guys what that looks like. Today we're just driving through the city, but if you have time, we highly recommend exploring Parliament Hill and the surrounding area on foot. Ottawa, Canada's capital, is the political heart of the country and home to the federal government. The city boasts numerous foreign embassies, significant institutions and landmarks like the Parliament of Canada, the Supreme Court, and the Prime Minister's residence and office. Nestled at the confluence of the Ottawa and Rideau rivers in southern Ontario, Ottawa has a metropolitan population of approximately 1.4 million, making it the fourth largest city in Canada. Now we're crossing the river into Quebec as we continue our journey towards the East Coast.
So we got that patch in Algonquin, but it was one of these where you have to iron it on. So I have this Velcro. I'm just going to stick it to the back and then hang it up that way. That's what I've been doing with my patches, since a lot of them don't have that. Just a sec. There we go. That would be neat. Put that one up a little bit. There. Ta-da! Looks good. Hello, friend. Lando. Don't you guys love that patch? It's one of my favorites. Just gorgeous. I think we need to make another one. But yeah, one down. Now on to the next.
We stopped outside of a small village here in Quebec. We're about 2 hours from Quebec City. So after a long drive, we figured it's a good time to stop. And we found a little parking lot right by this walking trail. And it looks like a good place to camp. There's some good reviews on iOverlander, so we'll spend the night there and then head into Quebec City tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We plan to walk around a bit, so we'll find a place to park and spend a couple hours and really show you the town. But for now, we're stretching our legs after, I don't know, what was a good 10 hours on the road. Come a long ways. We were in the west side of Algonquin Park this morning, and we're now halfway through Quebec.
So this is always a welcome sight when you're doing long trips. Stairs. Going up to the lookout, I guess.
Let's do.
It feels like this structure moves a little bit, so it's making your stomach my stomach, cringe. Very neat.
Yeah, this is quite the duck habitat. This kind of wetlands area goes actually for quite a few kilometers that way. So they do, looks like they hunt, can't read the sign, but between August 17th and September 21st, something like that. They hunt for ducks, but these guys look pretty peaceful, and there's lots of them. Lots of different pairs of mallards. And then we saw a muskrat back there, and I'll show you the muskrat houses or homes or huts or whatever they're called.
Condos?
Nests. Condo.
It's kind of funny, we're sitting just off the road in a parking lot at the trailhead, and I can take a lovely shower after a long day on the road. So we are really enjoying the Ross Monster Baja truck. It is a game changer for sure. So now I'm all refreshed. I'm going to sit outside with Pete and just enjoy the fresh air and call it a night.